So, what deck are we going to review today?
Okay, so today we are going to do Frieza Spaceship Red Blue Pan. So for all of you that doesn't know, Pan is a set 3 leader. He's a very old leader, but it's one of my favorite. So what it does is that when you play a battle card, you can give it 5k power, and if that battle card reaches 20k power or more, you can draw a card. Since it's a once per turn effect, and it doesn't say during your turn, you can do this during your turn and during your opponent's turn if you can play a card during your opponent's turn. So how to awaken Pan is that you just have to reach 4 life, and you can untap 2 energy, up to 2 energy, and flip your leader over. So once you're awakened, you have the same effect as before you're awakened, that you can add 5k power to the battle card that you played and draw a card if it reaches 20k power, and on top of that, you can draw a card when you attack. So let's go on to the main engine of the deck. So first of all, we play 4 Frieza Spaceship. What does Frieza Spaceship do is that when you play this card out, it just stays on the board as a field. And at the end of the turn, you can play out 1 Frieza army that costs 2 or less, that costs 2 from your deck, from your hand. If you do, you can draw a card. So the main targets of the Frieza Spaceship are Clan Commander Frieza,
Just zoom. It's okay, carry on.
Evolutionary Process Frieza, and Mecha Frieza Energy Blood. So Clan Commander Frieza, that's the main target of Frieza Spaceship. The reason because is that when you play Clan Commander Frieza, you may look top 5, and you can take a Frieza clan that is red or blue that costs 5 or less from the top 5. So basically how the combo works is that you play Clan Commander Frieza off the Frieza Spaceship, you draw a card. You look top 5 for a card using Clan Commander Frieza, that's basically adding another card. And since it's a 15k, Pan Leader allows you to draw another card since you give it 5k, and that's basically you're netting no loss for doing this combo. The other targets are Mecha Frieza Energy Blight, Evolutionary Process Frieza. These two, they are just there because it's also a target for Frieza Spaceship, and they have effects that you can do too. So for example, since Evolutionary Process Frieza has the ability to swap to a red Frieza that has an energy cost of 3 for 1 energy, the card that you will play is Frieza Storm of Blows. So what Frieza Storm of Blows does is that when you play him out, you can KO one of your opponent's battle card that has 20k or less power. On top of that, you can also swap to another Frieza that has energy cost of 5, a red Frieza in particular. So the reason why you want to do this is that you want to go to your boss monster, which is this 5-drop Frieza. So what he does is that when he attacks, you can minus 30k to all of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier. And every time you minus an opponent's battle card power, they will send the 2 cards from the top of the deck to the drop area. So basically you are kind of a new deck. So the reason why you want to play Mecha Frieza Energy Blood is that sometimes you may be unlucky, you don't see Clan Commander Frieza, you don't see Evolutionary Process Frieza. He's also a target, you can still draw 2 cards off your leader and the field card. So next, since we are playing a red blue deck, of course we'll have the Beerus super combo. Is your main super combo because you will normally be tipped out during turn 2 when you play the Frieza Spaceship. So what Beerus super combo does is that when you combo hit from your hand, you can untap one of your red blue multicolor energy. So let's say you have a Mecha Frieza in your energy being in rest mode, so you can combo the Beerus super combo and make it to active mode, and you will have energy to do something during your opponent's turn. So since you have Beerus super combo, of course we can't forget Cooler, Tyrannical Assault. So what it does is that if you have a red and blue color card in your combo area, you can arrival him out for 1 red energy. And when you play this card, you can reduce 2 of your opponent's battle cards power by 10k and send the top card of your opponent's deck to the drop area. So also it's a milling effect which can combo with the Frieza. Since you're reducing power with the Cooler, your opponent send 1 card for Cooler and send another 2 for the Frieza. Next is Combo Attack Cooler. So what he does is that during a combat, you can activate battle, send one of your Frieza clan card from your battle area back to your hand, and then you play him out. He's also a 15k, Pan gives you 5k, makes it 20k, you still draw a card. So it's cheap card draw basically. Also when he attacks, you can combo a card from a drop area that is a multi-color card. So let's say you attack during with Cooler, you can combo a Beerus. However, Beerus does not untap energy because his effect only works during your opponent's turn and if it's comboed from your hand. But Cooler also works when somebody attacks him. So if your opponent attacks the card, you can combo a multicolor red-blue card from a drop area. It becomes a 25k, but that's only once per turn. So during the second attack, it's just a 15k. Next up, we have Senzu Beans. I only run 3 because, as you can see, the deck is more of a red deck than a blue deck. So 3 is typically a good number. And Senzu Bean, if you're not sure what it does, is that you can tap 1 blue energy to activate Senzu Bean, and you may untap 2 of your energy. So let's say you have 2 multicolor, red-blue multicolor, and a cooler, and a blue energy. You can tap the blue energy and untap 2 of your multicolor, so you have more things to do basically. So next, we'll talk about our counter attacks in our deck. We have Toppo, Righteous 8. What Toppo does is that you can counter during your opponent's attack. You negate the attack, and you drop a card, and you play him out. And when this card is played, every time your opponent attacks you, they have to drop 2 cards before they can attack. So why did I mention this? Is that when you play Toppo out during your opponent's turn, if that's your first battle card, you can give it 5k using your Pan Leader's ability, so that it becomes a 25k, which is more than 20k, and you can draw a card. So normally when you play Toppo, you will net a 2 card loss because you're playing Toppo and you're dropping a card. But in this case, you're actually only netting a 1 card loss because Pan draws you a card and you will gain a 20k attacker during your opponent's turn. During your next turn, sorry. So next is King Vegeta's Imposing Presence. What it does is that when you counter, you can give minus 10k to the attacking card, so it can be a leader card, unison, or battle card. And every time your opponent attacks, they have to minus 5k to declare the attack. So let's say if you have Frieza out on the field already, every time your opponent attacks with your battle card, they have to minus 5k to their battle card, and they have to mill 2 to themselves. So next up is our secret rare. I have chose Supreme Kai's secret rare because it's a good secret rare for the deck that it synergizes with the deck in the sense where sometimes your opponents play blue. You are scared of GST Trunks, the counterplay, which sends the battle card that you are playing back to your hand instead of being played. So with Supreme Kai, you can send their unison to warp so that they can't counterplay you when you play Frieza. Next up is SS4 Button, the Overwhelm. He's one of our game enders since he's simply just a dual attack. But it may seem very boring, but it's very strong when you can use it out to, let's say you want to bait your opponents to counterplay on your endgame turn, that you overwhelm him first, and then you go into Frieza. So they have already wasted their counterplay on your Bardock, so they have nothing left for your Frieza, and you can still go for a game with it. Next up is Hidden Power is Supreme Kai. It's one of your typical game enders. When you combo this card, give one of your attacking card double strike. Simple as that. If your opponent has 2 lives, attack with something, give it double strike.
So only 1 copy of this?
Yes, I only ran 1 because usually you're either going to have lots of value by attacking with all the small 15ks that you have played out already, or you have a triple strike. They may have already wasted a negate on it. Then you're going to play Bardock and then hit them. If they have 3 life left, let's say for example, since he has dual attack, you attack the first time, it's a 25k. It's not very likely that they're going to block something that has 25k from 3 life to 2 life. They might just take it. On the second attack, you hit, and you can give it double strike, and then you dump your whole hand, for example, and that might just be game. So next, this is where the fun part is, because the rest is mostly on the tech cards of the deck. So I run 2 SSB Kaioken Goku. So what it does is that you can either tap 2 red energy actually, to activate main and choose one of your opponent's battle card and reduce the power by 25k, sorry. So the reason why I play 2 of it is that it's a tech card. It may be useful, it may not be useful, but it can synergize with the deck very well. So for example, if your opponent has a battle card that is, let's say 30k power, and you have nothing you can do about it, you can tap 2 energy, reduce the power by 25k, play Frieza, Storm of Blows, and KO it. Alternatively, if you already have the 5-drop Frieza out, you can reduce the power and make your opponent mill more cards. So that, the other effect is that when you play this card, you choose all of your opponent's better card and you KO everything that is 20k power or less. So it's also a good remover. It also has deflect, so blue can't really hit it. Next up, I have Jiren, Survival of the Fittest. I run only one copy. It may make or break your game, depends on your opponent. It's really only to counter the 7-drop Android 17. Since Android 17 says your opponent and your opponent shuffle your hand to the deck, and then you will also shuffle your battle card from your drop area to the deck. By counterplaying Jiren, it stops your opponent from making you shuffle your hand back to the deck. So only your opponent shuffles their hand, so suddenly you have a handful of cards and your opponent has nothing. So it's a kind of a good deck card, let's say. Next, I have Dabura, Ritual at Hand. I run 2 copies.
It's Ritual in my hand.
Yes, but I really regret not running a third because it's a good card. People play Bardock the Eliminator, it's a 1 energy draw 1. People play Son Goku, Saiyan Instinct, it's a 2 energy draw 2. So why not play Dabura? It can be a 3 energy draw 3 in Pan since you give it 5k, and then you draw a card off Pan. And when you play Dabura, you draw 2 cards. So 3 energy draw 2 with a 20k beater, I think that's fine. So it's really a good card. I think we can always up the numbers to 3. But 2 is fine for now. Lastly is Beerus Ball. So what Beerus Ball is?
One of Beerus.
Yep, one of Beerus Ball. What it does is that if you have 4 or less life, you can use Beerus Ball to stop the counterplay your opponent when they play a battle card that has 15k or less power. But if you have a multicolored energy, you may take a life instead of paying the 1 energy. So what this card is for Frieza Charismatic Villain. So let's say during turn 5, you have really nothing to do. You can hard cast Frieza, full power Frieza for 5. You are tapped out, your opponent counterplay the Charismatic Villain, Beerus Ball. Stop the Charismatic Villain from coming down, your Frieza is safe. You have a 35k triple strike essentially, and you can clear the whole board. It is a very good game ender. Yep, so that's about it for my deck profile.
Okay, so this deck profile, was it made before or after the recent ban list?
So I actually made the deck before the recent ban list. This was actually my deck for the Asia Regionals 2021. So it was quite a while back already, but I played Pan so much that I actually had a lot of fun with this deck. Actually I played Pan and got quite a good result. Back in 2019, Pan got me 3rd. Now in 2021, it got me 5th. I think it's pretty good results.
Okay, so I guess this is a pretty stable deck, you say lah. What challenges do you think you face? What do you usually watch out for?
Honestly, the deck is really only weak to hand control that really don't hit you. Let's say like Cell Search, but that's what Dabura is for. If this card is discarded from your hand, you can tap 1 energy and you can play it out from your hand. So during your opponent's turn, let's say they make you discard a card, you can discard Dabura, play him out, tap an energy, give it 5k, it became a 1 energy draw 3 instead of a 3 energy draw 3. That's why I say that this can be a 3-off instead of a 2-off. So sometimes even when you have nothing to do during turn 3, you can play it out just like that, naked, 20k, pass your turn, draw 3 cards. Also, since set 14 is out, I think there can be some changes made, like we can add Captor, the counterplay to the deck. It will become something like a denial of hope, since you can counterplay your opponent's battle card that has 20k or less power, reduce one of your opponent's battle cards by 10k, and it's still a blocker, and it's also 15k. So giving it 5k, draw a card, counterplay your opponent's play, pretty decent. Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to add on?
No, I think that'll be all. Thank you everyone.
Okay, thank you guys for watching. We'll upload this deck list to our GameAcademia.com website so you guys can check out the deck list. And thank you QJ for giving us a brief run through of the deck. If you have any comments to how this deck is played or any better suggestions you might have, feel free to drop us in the comments and we will get back to updating the deck. Also, thank you guys for also requesting for this Pan deck review. And if you have any other deck reviews you want us to review and improve on, you can always comment and we'll take it up on our next video. Thank you and have a great day.
Bye.
Bye bye.